Welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey, and I'm visiting today with Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Naig. And Mike, as Secretary of Agriculture for a state that leads the nation in so many commodities and in so many different areas of production, how does that make you feel?
Well, I'm so proud. You think about all the challenges, the unprecedented and historic challenges that we've seen, and yet we've been so resilient in the face of challenging weather and obviously a market disruption that we've never seen before. And to still be able to say that Iowa leads in so many categories of production, but also in advocating for those industries as well, like biofuels, for instance, or preparing for foreign animal diseases. Those are things we're able to keep our eyes on, those important things, and that makes me proud that we've got the ag community that can sustain that.
Of all the issues right now that demand your attention and that of Iowa farmers, what's one or two that really stands out right now as being most critical?
We've got a lot of positive things, and we look at the price of commodities, for instance, but then we think of the workforce challenges that we see, or the disruption to our supply chain, both as it relates to getting things to consumers, but also getting things to the farm that we need to do the things we do every day. Those are unfortunately the types of things that we're going to continue to be thinking about in 22, and yet also looking ahead to saying, as we reemerge from COVID in the aftermath of this, what does that global landscape look like from a demand standpoint, and how do we also move to the next level on the things that we're trying to do around water quality and soil health and carbon, and how does that all factor in? So we're really at an inflection point, it feels like to me, on a variety of topics, and how do we really position ourselves for success well into the future? Those are the types of things that we get to think about and should be thinking about now.
For Iowa soybean farmers, what's an issue out there that gives you a lot of optimism in the soy sector?
Yeah, well, again, the strong demand around the world, and also that we're not just resting on our laurels. We're not just looking at, hey, this is how we've done things for many, many years. So whether it be on the soybean usage side, renewables, renewable materials, just the flat out the usage around the world, but also in how we produce. And I think we've got our eyes on those things, and again, very proud of that work. But let's make sure that every bushel of beans that we produce has got somewhere to go, but let's also be leading in how we're producing those products, and again, looking well into the future to how to position us for success.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
Oh, that has to be absolutely getting the chance to travel the state. I meet wonderful people. I am in and out of businesses on a weekly basis. I'm on and off farms all over the state of all kinds. There are people who are coming up with tremendous ideas, and they're innovating in big ways and small ways every single day. So without a doubt, it is traveling the state, meeting all kinds of Iowans who are doing big and small things every day to make us better.
So having been raised on a farm near West Bend and you near Cylinder, how often do you make it back home?
Well, frequently, and especially in the spring and the fall. I'm part of the farm operation there, and I tell you what, there's absolutely nothing better than being able to be on our farm with my kids and my parents and my family, this multi-generational family operation that I love being able to introduce my sons to that operation and to have them experience that too. That's a great thing.
As you look finally to the year that will be in 2022, what do you think will define 2022 for Iowa agriculture?
I hope that we turn as we go to 22 and we start to think about how do we go to the next level on so many of these things, again, that I talk about with demand around the world, or creating new markets here at home, or really bringing a focus to that nexus between conservation and carbon, and where do those things take us, and all of the inputs and the technology that we can use. To me, it's about going to the next level in this new year.
Well, we, on behalf of Iowa soybean farmers, thank you for your leadership as Iowa Secretary of Agriculture. And as you know, there's no shortage of issues on the plate for Iowa farmers, and certainly for our Secretary of Agriculture. Reporting for the State of Soy and the Iowa Soybean Association, I'm Aaron Putsey.